Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Amara and here we do all things chunky knit blankets, occasionally stuffed animals, but mostly chunky knit blankets. And in today's video, we are making a tutorial or making a blanket in linen stitch pattern. I'll be showing you how you do it or what it's all about. And most importantly, how to change colors. Like if you want to make a blanket in different colors and you just want everything to be in that linen stitch pattern, changing colors, how to change colors in it is a bit different. So I'm going to show you that so that when you choose or decide to make your next blanket in this pattern, you will not make the mistake that I made. So keep watching and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And now let's start. As always, you want to start with your slip knot. For the purpose of this tutorial, it's going to be a very small blanket, okay? It's a tutorial. So I'm going to be casting on 15 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 15. Okay. Because I like my end knit, I like to have 2 end knit stitches. It's a preference for me. I don't know if any other person does that, but it's like my standard. I like all my blankets to have end stitches knit. This pattern, you are going to need an odd number of cast on, like 7, 11, 13, 15, 30, that's 29, 31. So the cast on chain has to be an odd number. Then if you're like me and you like your end stitches to be knit, that means you have to add extra two, one on the for the left and one for the right. So for this one, I wanted it to be 15, but because I like my end stitches knit, I'm going to add extra two to make that 17. As always, I add another extra, flip this over. I'm going to pull through the middle parts. This is so we have our first row. It's going to be all knit stitches. Our first row is going to be knit stitches. That's the last one. All right, I'm going to count real quick. 17. Yep, we have the number that we want. And now the fun part begins, which is the linen stitch pattern. I'm going to leave the end because that's my knit stitch. Then I'm going to start the linen stitch. It is knit, okay, knit, skip. So you're skipping this one, you're just crossing it over the next one, cross it over, knit. Like you're not doing anything, you're not pulling, pushing it backwards, you're not pushing it forward, you're just crossing it over the next stitch. You cross it over like this, knit the next one, okay, cross the next one, knit. So I call it skip. You knit, you skip, you knit, you skip, you knit, you skip, you knit, skip, knit the last one, Then because we like our end stitches knit, we'll knit that one. You see why in a minute. You see why I do that. So now you have the the second row is actually where the linen stitch pattern starts. Now the third row, which is moving from right to left, you're going to now skip this one because you already knit the end stitch. You're going to skip this. This one that you skipped before, you go ahead and knit it now. So you skip, knit. This one we knitted it, we'll skip it. We'll go ahead and knit this one. The one we knitted, we'll skip and go ahead and knit the skipped one. You skip, you knit, skip, knit, skip, knit, skip, knit. Then skip the last one and then knit your ends. So let's assume I didn't add these two extra stitches for the ends. This is where I would have stopped, and then how am I going to do that? You get the point now. So that's why I prefer like any pattern that I'm making, excuse me, any pattern that I'm making, I've kind of learned, even if it's herringbone, I twist just the middle, and I always like to have my ends knit. If you like to twist everything, that's fine. If you like to, like anything you like to do, that's okay. But this is like my personal preference. So now we have done one, like first, second. Let's just call this first, second, because the first one was just basically knitting. Now we're going to go back to what we did the first time, which is knit. You skip this one, you knit, skip, knit, skip, knit, skip, knit, skip, knit, skip, knit, skip, knit. Okay. So the linen stitch, you have to do it twice, which is the first one going from right to left. Sorry, the first one from left to right, then right to left, which is two rows. Then you repeat that two rows. You just keep going like that. You do the first two, which knit, skip, knit, skip, knit, skip, till you get to the end. Then you reverse what you did. What you did on the first one is what you reverse it, and then those two is what you're going to continue doing. One, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, until you get your desirable size or length, or you run out of yarn. A tip that I would say is when you're knitting, you want to make it a little bit longer so they can actually come out like this. If they are really short, you might have trouble finding it when you're going back, like the when you're repeating it, you might have trouble locating the ones that you skipped. But if you knitted it a little bit longer, you easily find it when you're going back. Like take for example now, this one I'm going to skip this. When I skip this, I don't have trouble finding this one. I just go ahead and knit it. But if it's really small, when I did the preview, like when I was going from left to right, if it was really small, I would have trouble finding where it is for me to knit it. I hope that makes sense. That's like a little tip from me. Okay, so sadly, we have run out of one skein of yarn, and I'm going to be changing the colors here. So I'm going to show you real quick how you change your colors or how you add another color of yarn to make this look seamless and effortless. Like make it really good and make it look really popping. Okay. Let me grab a second yarn and I'll be right back. Alrighty. So we have a new color of yarn. I'm going to be changing the yarn, the colors here because this we're out of skein. No, we're out of yarn on the skein. So I'm going to change the colors here just before I knit the end. Of course, I'm using my burning method because I find it more effective. Okay. Of course, don't forget to do the pull test if you're using this method. Okay, now let's go back. So I'll knit this one, knit the end. So I've knitted the end now. Instead of me just going to continue skip knit, I'm going to first of all knit this whole row. I'm going to knit everything. Oh, this one is small. I'm going to knit everything before going back into the linen stitch pattern. So I'm going to do half of it and do the other half so you can see why. I think I need to do that so you can see why I prefer to knit all the stitches with the new color before getting back into the linen stitch. So I'm going to knit this one, skip this one, knit. Okay, so this half here, I knitted everything before going back into the linen stitch, but this back here, this half here, I'm going to just continue the linen stitch. Let's assume I changed the colors here. I just went straight into continuing the linen stitch. You see the difference between this side and this side. Skip, knit, skip, knit, skip, and knit the end. Now we're going back the other way. Knit, skip, it's really small. Knit, skip, knit, skip, knit, skip. Okay. I think it's this half. So yeah, that's this one. So skip. Okay. I hope this will show properly. Or maybe I should just do one more row. Yeah, this is our demarcating line here. That kind of worked out well. Okay, yeah, that worked well. All right. Now, if you look at this, you see that this blue one kind of carried over here because this is our half. This is where we divided it. So on this part, I knitted first before going into the linen stitch. Whereas on this side, I changed the colors and just went straight into doing the linen stitch. You can see that the previous color that we had kind of came out here when we were while we were doing it. But on this side that we knitted first, it didn't come out. The old color didn't pop out anywhere, which is here. This is the line here. So that's why I prefer to, when I change a new into a new color, I knit everything first. Then when I'm going back from the left, I then start the linen stitch pattern again. I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope it does. That's why I had to do it half. I knitted first. After I changed the colors, I knitted the whole row first before going into the linen stitch pattern. That way the previous color doesn't pop out. Whilst on this side, I changed colors here and just went straight into the linen stitch pattern, and the old color, which is the blue, you can see it popping out in here. So I'm going to undo this now, redo everything, which is knitting the whole row before going into the linen stitch pattern so that it's as clean as beautiful like this side. I don't like this. I don't know if you do, but I don't like this popping out here. I prefer this. So let's undo that real quick. Okay. Yeah, this is where we did that. So I'm just going to knit everything. All right. Now that I've knitted all the rows, I'm going to continue the linen stitch. Skip, knit, skip, knit, skip, knit, skip, knit, skip, knit. It's very easy. Like once you get the hang of it, like it becomes a muscle memory. Skip, knit, skip, knit the end. Then now we're going backwards. Knit, skip, knit, skip, knit, skip, knit, skip, knit, skip. So there you have it. I'm going to do this one more time. So let's assume you want it to be double linen, double linen stitch. So you have to do two rows of, let's assume you want it to be double linen, which is double rows before you switch the other. So you have to do first do two rows. Like now we came back, you have to do each row twice. So 1, 2 is going to be the same thing, 3, 4 the same thing, then 5, 6 the same, 7, 8 the same, kind of like that. So you double each one, but there is like single linen, like you're just doing each row once and then alternating it. But if you're doing double, you have to do each row twice before you alternate. Maybe I need to do a separate video on that one. Oh, we are out of yarn again. All right. Going to join this one real quick so we can have at least enough to cast off. Don't forget, this is just a tutorial, okay? This is a tutorial. But let's assume this is 4 foot by like 40 inches by 60 inches blanket. Work with me here, okay? Just work with the imagination. So we are still going to pull, oh, sorry, skip knit, skip knit, skip knit, skip knit. Okay. So you just continue like that. It's pretty easy. And one thing I would say when you're making it, like right now, from my view, me sitting down looking at it, I don't really see the pattern. But from above, I'm sure you can see the pattern forming. And this linen stage, it pops out more on really solid colors, like darker solid colors. It pops out more from my experience. If you use a lighter, let's say like soft pink, it doesn't really pop that much, or black. It doesn't, I don't even know if I used it on black one time. You really have to come up close to see the pattern. But on like this, you can see the pattern or the stitch pattern forming out really good. So casting off is the same way you cast off your regular blanket. So what I do, I always prefer to cast off from my right. I don't know. For some reason, I always do that, to cast off from my right. So I'm going to show you real quick what I do. Might be different from every other person, but this is what I do. And what I do is what I'm going to show you. All right. So let's assume we're done. We've gotten our desired length of this blanket, which is 60 inches, and I want to start cast like have one start casting off. I want to plan to cast off. We're done. So what I do, I am going to, same way we did when we changed colors, I'm going to knit everything. I'm going to knit all the rows. I'll knit all the rows before casting off. If you remember, we started first by knitting the whole rows. Like when we pulled through here, everything was knit stitches before we started the pattern. So that's what I'm kind of repeating up here. Before I cast off, I knit the whole row before casting off. Again, this is what I do. It might be different from another person, which is okay. There's no right or wrong way. Just find what works for you and run with it. That has always been my motto. Find what works for you and run with it. So I'm going to double knit my end, then knit, pull over, knit, pull over. Oh, that was really small. Knit, pull over, knit, pull over, knit, pull over. I have a bad cough and I don't like it. And there you have it, your linen stitch pattern blanket all done in its beautiful glory. Let me know what you think about this tutorial. Have you tried a blanket and linen stitch pattern before? Will you be trying it out now? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you in my next video.